I'm Ken Hale. I'm one of the account executives at Cambridge, and I wrote this paper on temporary employees. It's entitled, "I Have Temporary Employees, So What's the Problem?" The reason I wrote this paper is that we had a case where a temporary worker was assigned to what we call a work site. And the work site had an accident that injured seriously the temporary worker. Temporary worker sued the work site employer. Worksite employer turned this claim into the general liability insurance carrier, the carrier that covers bodily injury on the premises of the worksite, and the claim was denied. The worksite employer then turned the claim into the workers' compensation carrier that the worksite had. Claim was denied. Claim was not covered for a number of reasons. So we wrote this paper which talks about temporary employees. We know that many businesses hire temporary employees, and there are three types of temporary employees. The first type is someone that is hired to fill a short-term need. Someone's on vacation, we've got a temporary increase in business, we need someone for a few weeks. That's a true temporary employee. There's another type of temporary employee, and that's an employee that is hired to fill the job of someone else on a long-term basis. Could be 6 months, could be a year. The third type of temp employee is someone that is hired to be auditioning for the job, someone that's a temp to hire. The last two categories are the categories that are not covered by insurance policies, and that's why we wrote this paper. So let's talk about the general liability insurance policy itself. General liability, we said, covers people that are hurt on the job or people that are hurt on the premises by way of a slip and fall. So the policy says we will not cover injuries to employees. No problem, because employees are covered under workers' compensation. The policy also says that we will not cover any long-term temp because we will consider them to be employees. So therefore, the long-term temp or the temp to hire, absolutely not covered by the general liability policy. That employer or worksite employer is out of luck. The workers' compensation policy doesn't cover it because this temp employee is working for someone else. Now, there are several ways that the temp employee can go against the worksite employer. That is the place where that temp was temporarily working. And the first is a direct lawsuit, a tort lawsuit from the temp employee against the temp employer or the worksite employer for a tort claim. I was injured on your premises and you owe me money. The second way that the worksite employer can be sued is from the workers' compensation carrier for the temporary agency itself. And the third way is that the health insurance carrier for the employee that was injured can also sue in tort the worksite employer. So this paper is designed to show you how to avoid these problems. And it has to be done in the agreement with the temp agency and by asking for certain things. So this is what we had in mind when we designed this paper, and we hope that you'll be able to click on this paper and read it in detail. And if you have any questions after reviewing our special report, feel free to call me. My phone number and my email address are on the website, and I'd be happy to take your call or to respond to your emails.